From Colonel Samuel Smith Park at Humber College South Campus at Etobicoke in Toronto, Canada, this is the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup thanks to Payable apps. A very good morning and welcome. I'm Peter Holden. Great to have your company for day 4 of the competition, round 2 of the men's poolside, which we'll go through very shortly. But let me first introduce my co-commentator for today. He's well known throughout the USA scene, called many USAFL nationals and regional tournaments, and of course the 2017 AFL International Cup. A very good morning to Brian Barish.
A very good morning to you, Pete. A very good morning to everybody out there. Should be good conditions today. It is a little cooler today, very overcast. Both of these teams coming in with a victory, looking for a second.
Let's start going through our key players and key thoughts on the game. We'll start, first of all, thanks, of course, to Payable apps. Let's talk about the British, first of all. Who's the player that the Americans are going to keep an eye on?
Well, it's one of their leading goal kickers, Andy Walkden. He's going to be very, very prevalent around the front, and it's going to be the job of the fullback, Eric Anderson, who put in a very, very good opening game against Ireland in that, or against France in that first one. It's going to be key for him to stop.
Let's go through our keys to the game, thanks to There Live, exclusive broadcast partner of the AFL Transatlantic Cup.
For the British, they have to put the pressure on early and force the mistakes. They have to play on quickly to catch the Americans on the back heel. For the Americans, they have to take the momentum that they had in that fourth quarter against France and keep it going. They have to stay disciplined, do not give up as many free kicks, and they have to be relentless on defense and force mistakes from the Brits.
We'll take a look at our tournament standings a little later on, but we're about to get underway with the match. To begin, here's Brian Barish.
We're underway here in Toronto, and a big tackle right off the get-go, and well, a little bit of pushing and shoving, but the free kick was awarded right off the bat to Jacob Tucker. The British Bulldogs in the white jumpers going towards the Toronto City Centre end to our left. Going to get lined up there by Owen Ryland. He's going to send that one in. Going to get knocked down by Max DePina for the Americans in the blue. And then a handball up front. Here's that quick start. Kick on the way from Walkden. It is dead. Center perfect. 30 seconds in. And Great Britain has the lead. Team GB 1 straight 6. USA no score.
Wow, what a fast start there for the British. Up by 6 points early on. Walkden, one player that they had to worry about, the vice-captain. He's the Bulldogs' all-time leading goal kicker, and he's showing that early. He's very experienced, 2014, 2017 AFL International Cups. He's played multiple AFL European Championships and Euro Cups as well, and he is leading from the front. Umpire with the ball back in the middle of the ground, just looking around about making sure that everyone's doing the 6-6-6. Which is an AFL rule that has been introduced for this tournament, not usually played at a local level on the international scene. Coming away to take the football, first of all, is the 21 and Levy. Levy now goes inside 50 with the ball. It is on the deck. Gigliotti was trying to get it out there, couldn't do so for the USA. It's going to be a British football unless the umpire, yes, he has pulled for a holding infringement. Player didn't have it and said, you got your jumper pulled, you can have a resulting free kick. I can see waiting off the side here is Owen Ryland. He won't go his way. He'll go to the opposite side, the Lake Ontario side of the ground, and that's Callum Jenkinson is going to take the mark. Jenkinson rushes off with the football, kicks up towards the centre wing scoreboard side of the ground. Rushing out to try and pick it up there is Coughlin. Overran the football close towards the boundary line. It will go over and out now, and we'll have a ball in right on centre wing.
Just underway here, and if you were watching the Americans the other day, we will tell you that we hope you didn't take note of the jumper numbers because they are pretty much scrambled. It's a different set than what they had before, so that is also kind of fun for the commentators, but you know, what's life without whimsy? Ball sent up high in the air. First in front there was, as he says that was Aaron Gray, one of a couple of ins for the USA. 3 ins for the USA. Aaron Gray is one of them. We'll keep an eye on the other ones here in a moment. It is 6-0 Great Britain. Both of these teams, as we said, 1-0. A win would be very helpful towards making the semifinals, and we'll go over the Vision Glass standings in just a moment. Here's Tim Linfeld, going to send this one over into the corner. Chasing it after it is Clyde Simpson. He gets the football. Long hand ball back to except that went out of bounds. Looking for Alex Tykowski. That's another one of the ins from the St. Louis AFC. And hello, everybody. Back to Rich Lozano and everybody looking back in the Show Me State.
Murphy going up in the contest on that occasion with Joe Moore, who brought the ball to ground for the Bulldogs, close towards the boundary line again. Will it go out? No, it won't. Moore tried to lay on the tackle there with support from Ryland. Umpire blows the whistle and says it's over and out now, and we'll call for a ball in. Great Britain 1 straight 6. The USA yet to score on our Payable app scoreboard. And the USA King to the right of screen was at the Visit Mississauga end. Visit Mississauga.ca. As going in to lay a great tackle there, putting on the pressure is Aaron Gray, who's come into the side after not playing in game 1. The British will move it towards their half-forward flank position. Awkward bouncing ball. Hodgson was slow to it. Umpire's blown the whistle, and it looks like it might have been a free kick for what had happened prior when the player was kicking the ball. They haven't awarded it downfield, so we'll go back to centre wing for the British.
Yeah, and this starting to look like the game against France, a early goal against them and a couple of probably needless free kicks. So here is it on the wing position on the intense side of the field because there are people over there intense. There's your quota met as the ball is going to get picked up, and here comes Sam Murphy. Sends a big booming kick down, almost taking that one out of the back. Ball comes through, rushing in like a house on fire with Zach McKinney. They're going to have a chance for a goal here over the top, looking for David. And Julian David takes the mark about 30 meters in front.
Julian David also plays disc golf, American football, rugby, and you don't want to get into a scrap with him. He enjoys wrestling as well.
And a new dad, his wife Bianca, who plays for the Sacramento Suns women's team, giving birth to son Evander, sending this one on the way. And we are all level here in Humber College, Toronto. On the Payable app scoreboard, 1 straight 6 USA, 1 straight 6 Great Britain, almost 5 minutes gone.
Well, while all things are tied up here, we might bring up our graphic for Vision Glass and quickly go through the tournament standings. Vision Glass, GTA's exotic car experts, doing auto glass, convertible tops and rooftops, and they make the insurance claim process easy. VisionGlassToronto.com. And as we go into this tournament, we need to remind everyone we have a group, Pool A and Pool B. Pool A is the Americans, Pool B is the Europeans, and they will cross over and play the teams from the opposite pool, and then the top 2 teams from their pool go through to meet in the semi-finals.
Yeah, we'll check that in just a moment. We have play action up on the near side. Going to bounce into the hands of Welton. Welton looks high in the air, finds the man in Tucker. Tucker turns for goal, and it's marked in front. So a quick reply upcoming as Oliver Louis will go back and have a chance from maybe about 30 meters in front.
And it's impressive that he's making his international debut here for the Great Britain Bulldogs because, believe it or not, he had a lung collapse last year.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we've seen more than a few comeback stories, and that is one of them. Louis, not much of an angle to speak of. Walks forward, now goes into a canter, arches the back, sends this one up on the way. It is right over the umpire's hat, and that gives them the lead right back. 2-1, 12-6 on the Payable app scoreboard with 6 1/4 minutes gone. Taking a look very quickly while we have it at the Vision Glass Toronto standings. In Group A, that's the Americas group. The U.S., the only winners on day 1. They're at 1-0. Canada and Colombia at 0-1. In the European group, that would be Group B. Ireland at 1-0. Great Britain at 1-0. Ireland with the superior percentage thanks to their 100-10 win over Colombia, and France at 0-1 after losing to the United States.
Umpire with the ball back in the middle of the ground. We throw it up in the air and away we go again. Once again, you can give that tap down to Sam Murphy. The ball's squeezed out, though, towards the true centre half-forward position for the British. Only to be socked away by Coughlin accidentally to gain about 50 metres going backward for them. So it's Sharp that's going to have to do the clean-up job. It ain't that great, though. It swings around on the boot. Trying to put his hands up in the air to take that mark was Doherty for the USA. Close towards the boundary line. Under pressure there was Daniel Levy, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of play. And that's what we'll call for a throw in between centre wing and the half-forward flank. Again, the Americans attacking to the right of screen, the Visit Mississauga.ca end.
And Caleb Doherty of the Kansas City Power, longtime member of the Kansas City Power. He is the 3rd in for the USA as the ball is up on that far side right in front of the AFL. Big hit in there, and the ball has gone out. No, he's going to award a free kick for high contact.
Yeah, nearly copped an RKO from out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's Paul Sever, who will have the football, wing position, Lake Ontario side. The lake is over there. I did find it yesterday on a rare walk as the ball goes up high in the air, knocked down in front. DePina is in there for the pressure, sent forward by Reese Evans. That's a very Welsh name as the ball bounces high in the air, but we have a whistle and a free kick. So it will go the way of the Americans. Looking out now to the far side, putting boot the ball, and this one sent up high. A lot of bodies flying aerially, and it was picked up by Gigliotti, who is up, and the ball has gone for a free kick, and it will go the way of Great Britain coming back to our left.
They'll go with a short pass going up the line. Mark taken there by Adam Reid. Reid is between centre wing and the half-forward flank. He gets the hurry up in the umpire. Got to dance around. Gives off the quick little hand pass. Wants the 1-2 back. Then goes for a chip in towards the forward pocket. Good mark taken there. This by Joseph Lillis. Lillis with the football, thinking about the pass, hesitant for having a shot at goal. Calling for it short there, David Hodgson. Won't do so, and now will go short to Hodgson, went floating right over his head, and it'll be picked off easily by the American. Sam Murphy is the one who got the hand pass, sold his teammate right up the creek without a paddle in a barbed wire canoe, and the umpire comes in and says he had no opportunity. We'll call for a ball up.
Don't knock it till you try it, Pete. Ball up coming on the far side. That was Gabriel Martin Del Campo, who was sold up the old creek that we probably shouldn't say on TV, but as the ball comes upside down, there's a weird volley kick high in the air, and Tykowski is under it, so is DePina. But Great Britain had first possession. Paddle back to Evans, who's going to play that up on the other side. Reese Evans down on the farm, and it will be a free kick. It will go the way of Alex Tykowski, who sends that one up on the far side. Has a dribble. Has a couple of bounces and then goes out of bounds in front of a number of Great Britain fans sitting on the bleachers directly across from us. It was filled with the Great Britain team the other day. For their side, the Swans women are off to our left cheering on their side.
Umpire throws the football back into play, spinning back in, give that to Statham there for the Great Britain side, but the USA move it towards their half-forward flank position, a little dancing around there. Stolen, they were trying to get it to Lanahan, picked off right out of his hands, and the kick right up towards the centre wing, almost might be sent back from whence it came. A little bit of scragging going on there. They cried ball saying that Gigliotti had it, and then he got dispossessed, and Great Britain will now move it towards their forward line, trying to go up for it, but having to punch instead of take the mark was Tucker. Was the smartest thing to do. Ball in the pocket, still manages to keep the feet as Tucker went after it again. Still going with the football, gets brought to down, got the hand pass away. Soccer out of midair. Is it through? No, it was over the line before it was kicked. And it will... No! It's a goal! It's a goal to Coughlin. It's a goal to Coughlin.
Wow.
Because what had happened was the umpire tapped himself. Now, normally when the umpire taps himself, that indicates a point. So that was an incorrect tap. And then he's gone two fingers. So it is a goal for Great Britain. And hang on, he's waved two flags. There's confusion here. He's waved two flags, and they've gone a kick in. Something's gone wrong.
I don't... I call shenanigans as the ball comes out the other way. So we'll figure out what's happening. But meanwhile, on the other end, there's a shot for goal, and it's gone across the face. So what we have right now, and I don't know that they haven't figured it out on the scoreboard either.
What needs to happen is, unfortunately, we may have inexperienced goal umpires. They actually need to run out giving the blood rule signal to the field umpires to signal, no, stop the play. That was a goal. That needs to be a ball up in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, I mean, that... Well, meanwhile, the U.S. is in front, and the ball goes down, and that one is smothered, and smothered there by... by Stork McClure, who was the player of the game for the USA in Game 1. Big tackle put in there by Javon Mason. Confusion reigns here in Toronto, and we'll have a ball up. Commentary position on the wing side. Ball up will occur. The score is 18-6, we think. Ball has come up, and it gets knocked down. Going to get taken down by Oliver Reeves. Goes up high in the air. Gets punched away by Zach Taylor. Moose able to get the ball free. Ball pops up high in the air. Picked up by Martin Del Campo. Left-footed shot is on the way, but it's marked easily by Oliver Reeves, and Great Britain will have the chance to shake the Etch-a-Skeps and draw something new.
Now, I've checked the replay. The goal umpire definitely waved two flags, so that is a goal, but because he tapped himself early, that's thrown the field umpire, and that's what's created this mess. As the ball is now still at the centre-half forward position for the USA. Just went through the legs there of Levy, who couldn't pick it up. The British will kick it with a soccer-style kick towards Kelly out in the wing. Kelly, little chip wedge here, going about 20 metres towards true centre-half forward. Got knocked away, keeping the ball in front of himself. Martin Del Campo, he gets bowled over in the process. Also there as well was the 17 in Hutchings. Umpires pulled out a free kick and said advantage paid to the British. Having a shot on goal there is Welton. It's going to be stopped near the last line of defence. Numbers back here with the Revolution, and they'll come down the E There Live broadcast wing. Plenty of numbers though for the British. British, and it's Ollie Hoban who's just come on the ground. He'll go with a short pass. Got tipped away from him courtesy of Levy, who got the hand in it there at the crucial moment. Gigliotti goes in to try and pick up the football. There's a don't argue on the way through. Thanks for coming, no receipt. Clyde Simpson goes in there. He gets dispossessed of the football. Trying to shove his way in is Adam Kelly. Right up against the boundary line. Quick hand pass back to Hoban. Hoban swings around to try to get it 40 metres out from goal. Plainly gets falconed on the way through. Coming in there to try and clean up the mess, Martin Del Campo. Turnover, British way in the centre of the ground to Kelly. Kelly going long to the hot spot. Mark taken, pressure relief for the USA by Eric Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson doing a fantastic job as they move up on the far side, and things are chaos, and let's see what the U.S. can do to clear the present danger. They can't do anything right now because they'll have a free kick. Nope, it'll be a free kick going the way of the USA, and it will go the way of... They'll send this one down the line. We're getting an update on the score in just a moment as the ball moves up on the far end now. And it's going to get slapped back. Going to be picked up in the middle now, and turning this one in is Livy. Going to roll through. Hutchings had to go through his wickets. Going after it again is Aaron Gray. And now up on the far side. Going to get stolen, and Great Britain will come back the other direction. It comes out to the near in the inboard. Going A over proverbial T was Hutchings out to the near side. Big Shepherd put in there by Martin Del Campo, who gets the ball from Simpson. Goes into the middle for Phillips. Phillips sending this one into the top of the 50. David chasing after it. He's going to be second best. Numbers back there, picked up by Reese. Reese will swing it out to the near side. There's an opportunity there. Gray took him down off the football. No call. Handball in from Murphy. Going to get cleared out by Great Britain, and it's going to be taken, and here come the Bulldogs the other way.
Callum Jenkinson with the football at the halfback line. He says, calm things down. He played soccer as a junior and played American football in university. He kicks up the line, but it will be intercepted. Mark being taken there by Tim Linfeld. Linfeld goes for the hand pass over the top. It's going to have to put a bit of pressure here on Simpson, who goes up the line. And he does okay, Simpson. He manages to hit up his target, and Josh Curtis. Curtis is at the half-forward flank. He's about 60 metres out from home. Swings around on the right. Wants to go to the hot spot. 40 metres out from goal. And he finds Mark the Monster McClure,
who's coming off a great performance, an MVP performance, a Powerwood MVP performance. And we will be naming a Powerwood MVP at the end of this game as well.
McClure will be on a slight angle. He'll be kicking from what I can spot, probably about 48.5 metres out, going towards the Visit Mississauga.ca, and with hundreds of must-see experiences, plenty of gorgeous scenery, world-class eats and events, Mississauga is yours to explore. Mark the Monster McClure is on the scoreboard. And at the moment, unofficially, we have it as the USA 2 straight 12, Great Britain 3 straight 18, unofficially to be confirmed at quarter time.
Yes, and just like everything else, it's not official until the umpires say so, as the ball comes back into the middle of the ground. And again, the USA with a victory, actually either one of these teams with a victory, will be in the driver's seat ahead of the semifinals, which get underway for the men on August 9th, which is Friday, if I have my days correct. They all sign and blend together. And McClure, as we mentioned, a former Boston Red Sox prospect, married to a former member of the USA Freedom Team in Katrina Scherer, better known to you and me as Sonic. Ball was back up in the middle once again, picked up by Simpson. Speaking of the Columbus Cats, he thought about a handball to Curtis. Now bombs this one inside 50. McClure was interfered with on the chance for the mark, and he will go back and have another chance. And instead, he's going to go into the middle to a wide-open target, and I believe that is Livy. And they are wearing different numbers, and in fact, that is Mr. Livy. Dan Livy, who just got married to his wife, Caitlin, a former member of the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, and he will stride forward. He will kick from about 38 meters out. The kick is up on the way. It is dead center. Perfect. And the USA, for now, we think, have the lead on the Payable app scoreboard. They go to 3 straight 18. And over there, they have Great Britain as 2-1-13. That's on the Payable app scoreboard with less than 2.5 to go.
As we said, things to be confirmed because there was confusion if it was a goal or a point that we saw earlier because we saw 2 flags, which normally indicate a goal. Again, those scores not official until quarter time when the goal umpires wave at the scoreboard. The goal umpires are the only ones who keep the official score. They are only overruled if the goal umpire scores do not match, and therefore then the timekeeper score comes into play.
Ball comes back in the play, and now once again they try to get it out. Going out to the far side with a handball. There's some pressure. David going after it, slapped around. Here's McClure. McClure with another chance for a goal around the body, but I think that's gone off to the side, and it is through for their first blemish, and that is now a 1 straight kick difference. 3-1 plays 2-1. Again, we say unofficially 90 seconds to go. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. This is the opening game of day 4 of the Transatlantic Cup, round number 2 of 3 pool rounds. As the ball gets right down the middle of the corridor, good mark taken there by Colin, right in front of the late arriving Keith Phillips. He'll play on now out to the right side, the Lake Ontario side near the scoreboard. 3-on-1 for the Americans. DePina finds it at his feet, tried to get rid of it, and then he got bowled over. Going to get picked up there by Louis, and then going to go all the way back, trying to find Coughlin once again, and then going to send this one up on the far side. It will roll. It'll skip. There is Linfelt. Linfelt with a hurried handball. Ball stays in play. And then going to get picked up now. Big smother in there again by Linfelt. Now going to get picked up. Again, there's DePina trying to rush through like a house on fire. Going to bounce there over to Livy, who's going to try and play it out the back.
And goes out towards the center wing and almost one in the back here. The umpire surely will award a free kick. Indeed, he does. And no, he's for holding the football. Well, it went the other way that I thought it would go. And Patrick Statham has the football. Wasn't the greatest of passes in the world, but the British do move it inside their forward pocket. Big hands up in the air, trying to wait for it at the bottom there was Gallagher. Now gave it across. Here's a quick snap around the body for the British, and it's away, this time for a minus score. Unofficially, 2-2-14 Great Britain, USA 3-1-19 with just under 10 seconds remaining until quarter time.
Not much time left, and it's been a very, very nice, it's been frantic and it's been frenetic, and that is the end of the first quarter. We say again, unofficially, it's the USA 3-1, and now they're changing it. Now they have, okay, we have 3-1-19 for the USA and 2-1-13 for Great Britain.
so what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up and go to the break early because we're going to meet with the umpires out there and to confirm what happened, because what we saw on the vision was 2 flags, which indicates a goal that can only be changed when the goal umpires cross them or they meet here at quarter time.
There's no truth to the rumor that these umpires have been supplied by CONCACAF, and that's a deep cut. But
we'll take this opportunity to take a break. We'll be back very shortly at the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup, thanks to Payable apps.
Great news, sports teams. Google Forms now accepts payments. The Payable Forms add-on allows for seamless integration of a digital checkout with your Google Forms. Setup is easy. Install the Payable Forms add-on. Link your payment provider. Share and get paid. Players can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Cash App, Venmo, and more, streamlining the process for them, all while you stay organized with real-time updates. Registrations, uniforms, races, sponsorship, clinics, coaching, training, and classes. Keep it simple with Payable Forms.
Welcome back to Colonel Samuel Smith Park here at Humber College, South Etobicoke in Toronto, Canada for the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup, thanks to Payable Apps. Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you. We're going to check the score now. Now, this is now the official score after there was some 90-second chat between the field umpires and the goal umpires because they couldn't figure out what was what. We now have it confirmed. 3-1-19 USA, 2-2-14 Great Britain. That goal we gave to Coughlin does not count. The goal umpire, now this is an interesting situation. The goal umpire said he accidentally waved two flags. It was meant to be a point. And of course we saw the field umpire continue on as if it was a point. We hope it's not a close finish, because if it is a close finish, then we may have appeals and whatever, and it could be a bit of a mess. But as it stands at the moment, the goal umpires had a chat in the middle and conferred with the goal umpire who did accidentally wave the two flags that he did it wrong, and he was meant to have only given a point.
Many hands make light work, something like that, yes.
So for the sake of the officials, we hope whoever wins by more than a couple of goals, just to take it out of a equation. If it's less than a goal, well, I have hair at the start of this broadcast. I may not have any at the end. To get us underway for the second term, here's Brian Barish.
And I have my mother's jeans. I'm not worried. Ball up here in the second quarter.
They look rather tight.
Oh, gosh, it's not even 10 o'clock. Here we go. Ball is in the air once again here in Humber College, Toronto. And now the USA is headed to the left of screen towards the Toronto City Center end, while the Great Britain Bulldogs in the white with the red are headed to the visitmississauga.ca side. Ball gets kicked up high in the air, and it's going to get picked up. The USA has to figure out how to penetrate this back line a little bit better, because they are not going to win the aerial balls all that much. As the ball gets kicked up on the far side. Good job of a contest there by Mason, who is second best. And here come the Bulldogs. It's a worm-burning, finger-breaking, mongrel up-country punt. Don't mess that up or you'll get in trouble. Left-footed kick into the middle of the ground. Two players back there. DePina on his horse. Going to get picked up, and DePina does a great job, but he couldn't get it cleanly. 2-on-1 situation. Shoves one player away. Just got it away. Ball cried the crowd. In your boots, said the umpire. Handballs over the top. Looking for Livy. Able to get this one out. The U.S. is going to release through Shotwell.
And he goes with a short little pass. Dangerously goes to the boundary line and sliding in to take a mark there. It looks like it was Tykowski. He quickly put it on the right boot. Goes up the line towards centre wing on the E there, live broadcast side of the ground. One good punch from behind was courtesy of Matty Morris. Hurry kick around the corner by Statham. Going towards centre half forward now, centre half back as the mark is intercepted by Tim Linfeld. Linfeld wants to try and come in board with a kick. Does so successfully. Manages to spot up McKinney. McKinney wants to go with a switch of play towards the opposite half half-forward flank position. 2-on-2 situation. Cavalry arrives for the Bulldogs in Tucker. Fires out the hand pass. Got it to Ryland. Now throw it on the boot there of Lillis. Goes around on the half-forward flank position. Madly chasing after the football is Coughlin. Tries to get there. Nearly lost his footing. Goes back in for the second crack at the football. He's under all kinds of pressure, though, courtesy of Gray coming at him. Umpire blows the whistle and says, a little bit of holding on here, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of the USA.
Shoddy too hotty. This is Derek Shotwell of the Cincinnati Dockers. Goes out to the far side. Dropped in front of Martin Del Campo. Shoved in the back there by Welton. No call. And now we have a rolling maul situation. And you can throw a blanket over 10 players. Everybody goes down mushroom farming. And finally one out there by Martin Del Campo, who gives it all the berries down the line, looking for Sharkey and Mike Linehan. And they're calling for a 50. They're not going to give that to him. No, they're not. I think it was they just got their hands tied up after the mark. Nothing malicious in that. Going out to the near side, though, through the hands of Sharp, and it's going to get picked off by the USA. What kind of numbers they have inside 50? Absolutely none, although there is Gigliotti there for the rescue going up against Fearon, and we have a whistle, and the umpire says, give that to me, we'll have a ball up. It'll occur right inside the 50-meter paint. 5 points the lead, just underway second quarter, 4 20-minute quarters here in the men's division, as this one is taken by Sharp as he goes out to the far side, and now the Bulldogs trying to move it through the circle. There's Shotwell once again, going to get picked up by Callum Newman, and now Newman will move this one down inside the 50-meter arc for Great Britain, and then going all the way back and taking a nice mark was Anderson, and that ends that.
Anderson now kicks the football out towards the centre wing on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Shotwell comes in and applies the pressure, but the Bulldogs will send it back from whence it came. Inside 50, 2-on-2 is the situation. Late spoil from behind by Louis, brings the football to ground. Player gets upended. Umpire blows the whistle, says you went over his shoulder. That will be a free kick. And which way's it gone? Well, it's gone to, let's see which way he's pointing. To Great Britain out of that no, he pointed one way then the other way. He meant to point to the USA and he pointed the wrong way. Nonetheless, the USA do try and move the football. The equivalent in the Lenihan direction. It'll be sent back again by the Bulldogs inside 50. Got away there by Jenkinson. Dribbling football. Sweeping around to pick it up there is Sam Murphy. Gave up the hand pass. Here's Max DePina. Thunder comes through with a low spearing pass. Looking for Simpson. Dive, take the mark. In fact, it was Mason, pardon me. Javen Mason now has the ball. Goes towards centre wing. Broadcast side. Towards our E there live commentary position. And straight towards towards Patrick McNeil, whose skills were sloppy and it got picked off.
Well, to be fair, that could be said of any of the four of us on the commentary position, except two of us are still playing, and the two of us actually with the microphones are not. Looks like we're going to have a secondary ball in. Nope, it was a contact.
May I say, in my playing days, I pioneered the role centre-half bench.
I played left out, so that's okay as the ball goes down. And here comes Great Britain once again, going back, and there's a spearing shot for a goal off the ground. Give that one to Hodgson, absolutely, and Great Britain takes the lead by one single solitary point. Payable app scoreboard, it's Great Britain 3-2-20, USA 3-1-19. Good job of kicking over the top. A little bit of a letdown for the USA in defense, and the Bulldogs up by a point.
And, of course, that's on the Payable app scoreboard. And that goal went down towards the visitmississauga.ca end with hundreds of must-see experiences, plenty of gorgeous sceneries, world-class eats and events, and a Walmart. Mississauga is yours to explore. Visit mississauga.ca. I may have visited that Walmart.
And you know what? My wife Chelsea came up yesterday, and you know what we did yesterday? We visited mississauga.ca, including one of their restaurants.
As the ball gets thrown up in the air, the ball gets brought to ground. The ruck work being done there by Statham for Great Britain. Just coming through and putting it on the ball is Jenkinson. Jenkinson boot the ball towards the centre-half forward position. Awkward bouncing football there. Going to have to do the clean-up job. And that was limped up momentarily. Hand pass out through Max DePina. Now they're away, just trying to get through a shot well. Shrugged off two, did well. Kicked it up towards the half-forward flank position, only for it to be intercepted and taken off the carpet. There is Newman. And then gets it across to a short pass at centre-half back.
Hello, Newman. Here's Roberts with the football. Edward Roberts going to take his time just inside his own 50. Plays out to the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Linfeld had two hands on it, bounced off his checks, handball up over the top. Here they come in the hands of Walkden, who is taken down quickly, fumbled the football, tried to paddle it forward to his own advantage, then tried the kick. He looked like Barishnikov for a minute, but less graceful, maybe like a concussed duck. Here comes Martin Del Campo up on the far side, going to send this one into the middle. There is Gigliotti, who sends that one off the ground. Oh, wait, that was Gigliotti, was held off the football, no call. Going to get picked up by the Bulldogs through the middle of the ground now, and we have a whistle, and I believe that is going to get paid downfield.
Yep.
And so they'll just end up paying the mark. Out to the near side they come now, looking out to the right, going to drop in front. DePina trying to get on his horse. He's going to get bumped off, springing Callum Jacobson. And Jacobson sends this one towards the sticks, and it just clipped the post on the way through. It was a Wilbur post. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. 3-3-21, Payable app scoreboard, USA 3-1-19. 6 3/4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden, whose voice you're going to hear now.
And they kick the ball back into play. The Revolution looking for Simpson. The ball bounced away from him. Went over the boundary line and out of bounds. We'll call for a throw in around 50 metres out from the Great Britain goal. They're going to right of screen. The Visit Mississauga.ca end of the ground. And by the way, that ball coming back into play is thanks to the Australian High Commission to Canada. They are responsible for advancing Australia's interests in Canada. Canada.embassy.gov.au. And if they don't have a supply of Vegemite, I'll be very disappointed. Now going in there was the player in Curtis who got it out. Quick little hand pass to Gigliotti. Gigliotti now trying to get it in the direction of the first bloke, Rob Munn. He overruns the football. Julian David in there for support. Getting in there for the British, though, is Newman. Newman swings around on the left boot. Got a runner out there. I think it might be Ryler's going after the football. He dropped it, got it back again. Feels the heat. He's got to be like Young MC and bust a move. Now they have to duck around and get on the right boot towards the centre of the ground. It's a long, high ball, 3-on-1. Numbers favouring the USA Revolution if they can work it out. I thought it might be a player taken high there, courtesy of the number 8 in Martin Del Campo, who just swung around an arm around someone's neck. In fact, he got the free kick at the end. Who knows? I'm not an umpire. Now coming away with Max DePina. I used to be one, and now kicks it towards the centre half forward position. Intercepted by the Bulldogs. They'll send it back once they came through Hodgson.
My father was amazing. Care to see my bricks? I'm looking to the near side now, and I think Taylor also got away with a high contact as well. Oh, good 2 bites of the cherry. Chomp, chomp. And that is walked in. Walked in, turns around, looks in the middle for a better option, and instead finds Martin Del Campo. Martin Del Campo will come quickly, sends this one a little bit more aerially than he wanted to. 3 white jumpers, and now we're playing aerial ping pong here at Humber College, Colonel Sam Smith Park here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, in this Transatlantic Cup presented by Payable Apps. And he finds a nice mark and taken there by Hodgson once again. And Hodgson, who has a goal to his name, I believe. He does, and he will go back. Now he is, I think by the time he kicks, this will be about 55 meters out. Not a whole lot of wind to speak of as we look at the participating nations' flags directly across the way. So here is Hodgson. Double 2s on his back. Sends this one from 51.25 meters out. It starts right, it stays right, and it will go through for a minor score. On the Payable Apps scoreboard, Payable Apps helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons. Great Britain, 3-4-22, USA, 3-1-19.
And Thunder, Max DePina elects to go on the right boot and kicks it out towards the half-back flank on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Ball hit the deck, trying to get it out there was Zach Taylor, who was almost ridden rodeo style. The Bulldogs now move it up towards the half-forward flank. The umpire said that didn't go 15, so I cannot pay a mark. And it's Coughlin that gets put into the ground.
Well, we are in Canada. Moose riding is a sport up here.
As we wait for the ball to be thrown up in the air. And away they go again. This time it was one out by Joe Moore for the Bulldogs. A quick kick inside 50. They need a mark. The ball smacked away. Chasing after it is Clyde Simpson. Was shot well. The ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. 10 metres around from the left-hand point post at the Visit Mississauga.ca end. The ball seems to be visiting Mississauga more than Toronto in this quarter.
Well, because it went to the website, obviously. This is the first of 3 games we'll have for you today. Coming up, Canada will play next against Ireland. No, I will get that in a moment as the ball goes up on the far side. I don't remember any of these matchups. No, they were playing Ireland. I got the thumbs up from Pat McNeil, who, by the way, you will hear call the game alongside David Smith in this next game coming up at 11:45 Eastern Time. The ball goes sailing. The umpire pretends he's landing over at Pearson Airport, and we'll have a free kick. 22 plays 19. Both these teams winners in round 1, trying to go to 2-0, and perhaps get 1 foot into the semifinal round, which for the men begin on August 9th. And it's the top 2 teams, so there will be 2 American teams and 2 European teams. As the ball gets knocked down off the hands and the ball goes out of bounds, once again. This, by the way, Pete, this is the first time that the USA and Great Britain men have played since the 2002 International Cup. It's been 22 years. The USA win, I think, I have to go back and double check, but they've only played twice, but this is the first time in 22 years.
In intercontinental tournaments, as the umpire blows the whistle again, we call for a ball up. Being wrapped up on that occasion, Aaron Gray. Coming into the side, Aaron Gray is also an Essendon supporter. Excellent individual, if I may say so. As going in to try and pick up the football on that occasion, the number 5 swooping by in Keith Phillips. And the umpire's blown the whistle and said that ball has gone out of bounds on the full, and it will be a free kick going the way of the British. And they'll go with a short little kick up the line, finding Jacob Tucker. Tucker with the football in front of the scoreboard, normally used by the AFL Ontario competition. And they'll kick up the line inside 50, 2-on-1. Numbers favouring the USA. Anderson brought the ball to ground. Shotwell lurking nearby. Getting contact there and hitting the turf hard was Linfeld. Umpire says that's a resulting free kick to the USA Revolution. And Linfeld gives off the hand pass and they'll run it out of defence. Here's the kick up the line. Good mark being taken. Swallowed quickly by Aaron Gray, that magnificent Essendon supporter. Gets on the right boot, goes up the line towards the half-forward flank position. Putting the hand up there is Jenkinson. Close towards the boundary line will go over and out. And we'll call for a throw. And as things get a little bit testy there on the boundary line, I think they're exchanging insurance details. And if you want your insurance claim process to be made easy, I reckon you should go to VisionGlassToronto.com. They're GTA exotic car experts in auto glass, convertible tops and sunroofs.
Very good, Pete. You're getting good at this. As the ball comes spinning back in the play, you can say what you want about Essendon. At least Hawthorn doesn't have a finals drought that can drink. As the ball comes out to the near side, and here we go. I'm going to pay for that, I'm sure. As that one is sent in, ball off the chest. DePina was in there, going to get skittered on off of Louis' foot. There are 2 Americans back there as Linfeld goes out to the near side. They're going to go quickly. There is Simpson. Simpson is 1-on-2. A little weighted kick juggled and taken by Moose Taylor. Zach Taylor, Fort Zach, as he goes up on the far side, and a sliding mark off a blade of grass. That was a nice mark. Maybe a payable ops mark of the game taken there by Gray as he gets the ball quickly up on the far side now. Little handball in. Here is Del Campo, who may have been taken high. No, he was taken cleanly, and they'll play advantage up on the far side. I thought that was maybe around the shoulder, but the umpire's much closer than me. It'll bounce, it'll skip, it'll hop. Gray kind of pushes it backwards and then bumped into his opponent on the other side of the ground. Sever now has the football, and this one is kicked one high up in the air, out to the near side, going to bounce away, and it's going to get picked up again by Great Britain. 2 players in there. There's Mason trying to put on the pressure. Nice weighted ball in the middle of the ground, taken by Jenkinson as the Bulldogs go on the attack up 3.
Jenkinson looking around for some options. Elects to go on the right boot, goes straight down the guts with the kick. 3-on-1, the numbers favouring the Revolution here, but the ball is spit out to Louis, who throws it on the boot and kicks a goal. Oh, they're signalling touched. Hang on. The goal umpire signalling touched. Let's wait for the flags again. And it will be a minor score. I see one flag. As we said, some of the umpires may be goal umpiring for the first time, so we do have to cut a little bit of slack to what we call our amateur goal umpires. They don't get the official training and the 22-plus games a year we do back in Australia.
Yeah, but they get the shirts.
Yes, 3-5-23 Great Britain, 3-1-19 USA.
Out on the far side now, and they got out of jail there to the U.S. I don't think that was a right decision to punch it. Maybe not aware that he was all by himself there as the ball gets centered in the middle of the ground. This is Javon Mason of the Portland Steelheads, goes out to the near side and finds Clyde Simpson of the Columbus Cats. He has a man on the near side there in Doherty, and he finds him. This is Kansas City's Powers, Caleb Doherty. That was like my 12th grade Spanish teacher, very ugly, as this one is kicked in. Looking in a one-on-one contest, bounces through, and Munn is in there. Couldn't get the ball. Going to get picked up, handballed in off the hands of Linehan. Goes back to McClure, who sends this one into the middle. That was McClure he was looking for. Going to get picked up. Big bump put in there as that one got away from Jacob Gross of the Des Moines Roosters. Going all the way back now. Big tackle put in there. Gross, 2 bites at the cherry. A tackle. Umpire wanted, the U.S. wanted possession. They're not going to get it. Umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor and will have a ball up. USA trails by 4 points, but the ball is in their offensive 50. Ball gets knocked down. It's going to get picked up by Livy. Livy looks to try and center the ball. It's going to roll. It's going to skip, and it's going to stay in play. Got the last line of defense by Fearon, who clears it out.
And moves it out towards the pocket on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Going to ground to keep it alive as Gross did well, but the British did have numbers there. And a quick little hand pass while on the deck worked out okay. That was originally courtesy of Sever. Now the USA do get some numbers back there to try and hold it up. The Cavalry did well for about 30 seconds, only for it to be turned over and end up in the hands of Adam Reed. Reed wants to come backwards with the kick. Had two players to choose from. One of them was Kelly. He didn't get it, but he might offer up an option up the field. Let's see what they're going to do now. They've been told just calm down, get some composure going. They think about swinging to the Lake Ontario side of the ground. They go, no, I'll go straight down the middle. And that's what it is, the kick. It's a beautiful pass. Spots up the target, right in the center of the ground. Receiving and thinking about the hand pass is Gallagher. He wants the 1-2. Gallagher, he says, you're not my Wonderwall. And moves it out towards the center wing position. Lake Ontario side of the ground. Hits the intended target. The kick up the line, at the feet. Not all that clean. Very disappointing there, I think, for Lillis to try and pick it up all over the boundary line and out of bounds. Support there offered by Adam Kelly. We'll throw it in just near the half-forward flank for the Bulldogs. They're attacking the Visit Mississauga.ca into the ground.
Anyway, here's a ball in, and it will occur, as Pete just mentioned, about 55 minutes. He's Peter Holden, by the way. I'm Brian Barish. As the ball comes spinning back in the play, we'll be with you for 6 more days of Aussie rules football action here on the banks of mighty Lake Ontario, made famous partially by a Gordon Lightfoot song. And that was Superior, the big lake they call Gitchy Gumi, as the ball, as the one of these teams try to get you got him, in so to speak. Ball comes spinning back in the play on the far side. Going to get knocked down by that's Great Britain, Brian. Going to be a handout by Gigliotti. Out to the near side. Going to get high up in the air from Livy. Over to get it. Trying to go get it was McKinney, but it was picked off by Edward Roberts. As the ball goes up on the far side, and it is Mark. Good mark in front of the Peanut. And it was not walked in there. That was Coughlin. And Coughlin will go back. Thought he had a goal earlier, and so did literally everybody else.
The breeze has slightly died off a bit, but earlier it was blowing a left-to-right breeze.
Yeah, and the breeze, there hasn't been much. There was some breeze yesterday. Actually made things feel nice. It doesn't feel too bad. It's 73 degrees for you back south of the border. What is it in Celsius?
21 degrees in real language.
Thank you so much. And this one is, well, somebody alert the Toronto Zoo, because there is, in fact, a Shankopotamus on the loose, and it will be a free kick to the Americans in their back left pocket with 90 seconds to go in the second term. Great Britain 23, USA 19, Payable apps.
Tim Linfeld, who played for the USA in the 2017 AFL International Cup, now kicks it long towards his half-back position. Hands up in the air by Edward Roberts, who brought the ball to ground. Put his head over the ball as Aaron Gray to try and fire out the hand pass. Calling for it was shot well. They can't get it to him. Umpires pulled out a free kick, and I think it might be Mason here for... No, it's Max DePina, pardon me, for the USA. And DePina now gets on the right boot. He goes up towards centre wing in front of our there live broadcast position. Lillis tried to ride his player radio style there for a moment and getting the mark. Would have been paid a free kick anyway for too high. Gigliotti now with the ball, just looking around for some options. Gets on the left boot, goes sky high with the kick going inside 50. A little bit of holding going on there. The umpire said it was all fair in the contest. Great Britain with plenty of numbers to get out of there. They want to try and go up towards Gallagher. Matthew Gallagher takes the mark, elects to play on from the half-back flank position. Now towards centre wing. Coughlin was front spot, got punched away from him. Close towards the boundary line. Being harassed there was Louis. Now it's Libby, just smacks the ball forward. Has it gone out? Yes, it has now, according to the boundary umpire. And we'll have a throw in right in front of Brian Barish.
Hi, how you doing? Ball comes spinning back into play. About 20 seconds to go. Unofficially, ball gets spinning back into play. Punch forward by Great Britain. Got by Clyde Simpson, who now has to get on his horse. Trying to get support there from Linfeld, and he too will take the ball out of bounds. Great Britain wanted to deliver it. They ain't going to get it. Time ticks down here. And so Great Britain, who have never beaten the Americans, the U.S. winning the games at the Atlantic Alliance Cup in 2001 and at IC 2002. But at halftime, here at Humber College, Colonel Sam Smith Park in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, it's the Great Britain Bulldogs. 3 goals, 5 behinds, 23 points. The USA Revolution 3-1-19, a scoreless second term for the USA. And Pete, I think Great Britain, they are a very, very talented squad. I think, they're have really challenged the Irish over the years in the European championships. They have a very good, cohesive club system back there with all the different leagues up and down the country. And what they're doing here is they're doing a good job. The U.S., in some cases, they look a little bit better in that second term, but in the first quarter, they looked pretty disorganized, and it's almost like deja vu with the first one. The difference is Great Britain's a better team than France, and that's why they have the lead.
While, of course, the Great Britain Bulldogs, courtesy of competitions like AFL London, get to play 18-a-side football frequently, and they also have a strong Australian contingent in their competition back home, which helps improve that standard. And you can see what is happening at the moment with the Bulldogs, how they're spreading the ball around a little bit more than the USA, and they're managing to spot up their targets as well. It's leaving the Revolution looking a little rattled at the moment. And I throw the question to you, because you know the USA Revolution men a lot better than me. If you're starting to think about moving the magnets around the board, I mean, it's only 4 points the difference, so no need to panic yet. But what move are you considering making?
Well, I think you have to also get guys like, Sam Murphy's up there already, but I think the idea is you might want to try and get some taller targets up there and maybe put a little bit more speed in the back. You already got a lot of, you already have Rob Munn up there. You have Julian David, who's already had a goal. So I think that's the key. I think the idea is I think the key is as well, they need to be quicker off the ball on some of these restarts. The U.S. has a tendency, that's when they played Papua New Guinea in the International Cup, that was one thing the Mosquitoes did to them, was play off the ball. So I think they have to have their ears up at all times and see if they can keep Great Britain on their heels.
Well, who are some of the better players that are standing out for you? Thanks to Powerwood, of course, the player of the match will get the Powerwood Game MVP. Custom Cedar Supply is done right. In fact, their Cedar Supply is based in Western Canada. Powerwood.com.
Well, for the Bulldogs, I like, obviously, Walkden is doing a great job up front. Hodgson as well is doing good for them. I like the play of Paul Sever as well. He's had a few touches. For the Americans, Javon Mason, his work rate has been pretty good. Max DePina has really put the hard work in. Gigliotti has had a whole bunch of touches. So still, a lot of time to go, and it'll be interesting to see what these two coaches do. I know Kyle Strensky, who is a former two-time International Cup player himself. He's been in this coaching program. He knows these players as much as anybody because he's been around the game for almost a quarter of a century. So he knows this player. He knows his style, and he knows what Great Britain is like. So we'll see what happens in the next 40 minutes.
We'll take this opportunity to take a break here at the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup, thanks to Payable apps. At halftime, it's the Great Britain Bulldogs 3-5-23, leading the USA Revolution 3-1-19.
Footy fans, you need to know about AFL Canada Shop. AFL Canada Shop has great items, whether you are a player, a coach, an umpire, a fan of Team Canada, or helping to grow this great game. Plus, AFL Canada Shop sells the highest quality Australian footballs at the best price anywhere. And we ship everywhere in the footy world. So visit AFL Canada Shop today at aflcanadashop.ca.
And welcome back to Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the Humber College South Campus in Etobicoke, Toronto, Canada for the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup thanks to Payable apps. Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you half-time, and it is the Great Britain Bulldogs 3-5-23 leading the USA Revolution 3-1-19. We didn't get to have a look at it at the start of the game because we were in a bit of a rush, but Brian Barish, let's check out the tournament standings at the moment. This is thanks to Vision Glass Toronto. They're the GTA's exotic car experts in auto glass, convertible tops and sunroofs. And if you want your insurance claim process to be made easy, you've got to deal with Vision Glass Toronto. Visit them at visionGlassToronto.com.
And as you look at the standings, bear in mind that the three Americas teams are grouped together. So the USA is at the top, even though they're third overall, followed by Canada at 0-1 and Colombia at 0-1. Great Britain alongside Ireland at the top of the European group, Group B, with France at 0-1. A win by Ireland, a win by Great Britain, and a loss by France later today will put them into the semifinal. If the USA win, they only need either Canada or Colombia to lose to punch their spot in the semifinals, which begin on Friday.
We're not too far away from starting this second half. Remember, the USA and Great Britain will match up again on the women's side of the draw, and that will be at 2 p.m. local time tomorrow. Again, you can catch that by the AFL Canada YouTube stream. Really looking forward to that game and checking out the British for the first time. Look forward to an excitable player called Lucy Massey, who I believe is also coming to Australia after the tournament. So I'll be keeping an eye on her in that match. And we're about to get underway here in the men's second half. Here's Brian Barish.
Thank you very much, Pete. We're underway. There's Sam Murphy, once a West Perth Falcon, and then getting taken down. Keith Phillips going to get pinged for a high tackle. Michael Sharp has been looking sharp here in the first half. Now we're into the second as this one gets sent in. Good spoil from the back there. Over the back was Tykowski, and then goes up to the near side. Little shovel handball by Hutchings. Finds Livy. Livy pounds that one out to the far side. One-on-one contest. It's going to bounce in front of Gray. Gray able to get a handball off. Wasn't very good. Ball goes to ground. Going to get picked up. Wheeling around on a sixpence there is Owen Ryland. Ryland sending this one up high. Who wants it? Going to get taken there, and right in front, the man in David Hodgson. Hodgson, I believe I met him yesterday. His wife is from California. We were talking to them. Very nice bloke. Finds Edward Roberts. Roberts with the football in the left half forward position. Going to drop that one in front. Going to get picked up on a hop, and actually it's going to end up being 3 hops before Linfelt goes for a short handball. Finds Del Campo, finds Hutchings. Rabbit with a daisy cutter. Going to find Livy. Livy pounds this one with the right foot. This one's going to go up high. One-on-one contest. Good contest in there is Linehan, but he's going to get shepherded off the ball. Allowed to spring Joe Moore. Going to get a handball in. Moore wants a little more, and a handball into Hodgson right in front of us. Turns the ball inboard once again, and it's going to get picked up by Sharp. Sharp going across the face now, looking for Jacob Tucker, and his New Zealand cousin rustled up some as the ball goes up on the far side now. As the ball gets taken down, and will roll. Somebody wanted a free kick. It was walked in. He ain't going to get it. Boundary throw in first minute, 1.5 minutes gone. Third term. Great Britain still leads by 4.
And if Tucker had kicked a bag full of goals, if you'd like that supermarket in Australia, Tucker bag, as we wait for the ball to be thrown back into play, about 25 metres out from goal. Britain now going towards the left of screen, the Toronto City Centre end of the ground. Ball on the deck, just waiting for it there is Sharp for the ball to come out. Still on the ground now, a hurried little kick high towards the pocket. Going for the fly on that occasion was Walken, couldn't pull it in. Here's a hurried snap out of the back for the Bulldogs, looks pretty good. And they will extend their lead on the Payable app scoreboard, courtesy of Jack Coughlin. They move to 4-5-29. The USA Revolution 3-1-19. 18 minutes remaining in the third term.
More of the same here for Great Britain. They're winning those balls, especially on the ground, and the pressure is creating these opportunities and really putting the defensive players under the pump when they're inside 50, and you saw it right in front of us. And then as soon as they get through, they don't have any sort of cohesion in that half-forward line, and so you see 3 or 4 passes, but then the next one falls apart. So their completion rate needs to be a little bit better. Ball's back in the air once again. Bulldogs lead by 10. As the ball comes up, it's picked up by Simpson, who didn't have it completely, and then takes down his opponent. As the ball gets down, he tries to walk over Tucker, just almost like Iverson and Tyronn Lue back in the day. Everybody gets pushed aside. Moore gets shoved down. And it's going to get picked up, and we will have a free kick. It'll go the way of Keith Phillips, who played college football for Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia. Going to tend this one in front. One hops in on Gray, who got clean bowled. Picking that one up again is Moore, who's inserted himself into the play. Turned it over. It's like a greased watermelon out there. There was some rain overnight. It will be a high tackle free kick. It will go to Clyde Simpson. Simpson, who played football in Country Victoria for Rainbow Jowlerup. As he goes now into the middle of the ground. One-handed mark. Beautiful mark by Jacob Gross, and that may be a Payable Apps mark of the day, mark of the tournament. And the man from the Des Moines Roosters. We've got to say hi to Coach Donnie Hess and company watching back in the Hawkeye State. And a team that I believe, and Donnie will correct me if I'm wrong, maybe has had one Australian in their 15-year existence. So here is Gross. When he kicks, he'll be about 40 meters out. It's up on the way, and Gross with I'm not going to say a gross kick, but I'm sure there have been better out there. But on the Payable App scoreboard, after 4 minutes of this third quarter, it's USA go to 3-2-20. They trail by 9. Great Britain 4-5-29.
We're at the visitmississauga.ca end of the ground as we wait for the ball to come back into play. They'll go with the pass up the line towards the halfback flank on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Leaping early forward was Callum Jenkinson, who couldn't trap it. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. And that's what we'll call for a throw-in. 55 metres out from goal. And again, we wait for the play to reset, nominating for the ruck. Remember, rucks must put their hand up to nominate for each contest. Sam Murphy going up on this occasion for the USA, beaten out by Joe Moore. Ball got smacked around volleyball style. The umpire said, play on, and guess what? He got pinned, and his British opponent got pinned. So now it's back in the hands of the number 8 for USA Revolution, Martin Del Campo. And Del Campo wants to switch out towards the wing on the ETHER Live broadcast side of the ground. Maybe a little nudge in the back. The umpire says, I'm not paying that, though. And that was for Hutchings. Hutchings still going, Rapid. Still trying to keep it alive. Does so now. Did he knock it deliberately over the boundary line? Yes, pinned by the umpire because he had no intention of keeping it in. He just went straight out. And it's a free kick to the Bulldogs. And they'll go towards the half-forward flank on the broadcast side of the ground. It will be smacked over and out. Seeing it over for the USA is the number 16. And that player is Alex Tykowski. And we do apologise. We're taking a little while to tell the USA Revolution numbers because they're all out of order for us commentators. So I may be suggesting to USA management to go forth and multiply at some stage.
Send complaints to you. Peter Holden, Karen, as the ball comes spinning back in the play. Some of you know where you live, Peter. No, I'm just kidding. As the ball comes, here comes Callum Jenkinson. Jenkinson will look out to the far side, and a good diving mark taken. Just getting up to see who that is. It is, in fact, Coughlin, who has the football, and we'll try to go in short. Shotwell is in there. Boom, crash opera, and throw a blanket. Everybody goes down mushroom farming. You can throw a blanket over half a dozen players, and we'll have a ball up. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. Great to have your company, Mary, where you're joining us around the world here, thanks to ETHER Sports and the AFL Canada app. Our thanks to Jacob Hustler and everybody here in Canada for making us feel welcome and putting this tournament together as Livy goes to find Gigliotti, who lost the handle. Ball goes to ground, going to get picked up. Swinging around there is Newman. Hello, Newman, up on the far side. Off the chest there. Going to get picked up. Going after it again is Anderson. And when Eric Anderson says no, John Anderson says yes. We got to meet that quota. As the ball goes up now, sending that one high in the middle of the ground, and it's going to get picked off, and this is Statham.
Statham with the football. Says, just calm things down, guys. That's to his players, not us. Now goes inside 50 with the kick. Goes towards a flying contest at centre half forward. Umpire rules over the shoulder. Free kick going the way of the British. And will end up with Michael Sharp. Michael Sharp for the British, one of the co-captains. Also plays for Penley and Essendon Grammar in the VAFA in Australia. And he's going to back himself in here for a shot at goal. This will be a fair kick from about 50 metres out if he nails this. He's just saying, calm the farm, guys. And you'll end up going with a pass. It's the old, I'm going for a shot at goal. No, I'm not. And then he kicks it towards the pocket. Yep, it happens a lot in Aussie rules. And they'll kick the ball along the ground there, walked in, close towards the boundary line. It's being kept in. Just chasing after the football on that occasion. Callum Jenkinson. Big tackle laid on there. Ball they cry. And the umpire will award that free kick to the British. And they'll have it on the half-forward flank. Lake Ontario side of the ground. Low flat mongrel punt. Almost smacked Smatham in the face. Statham went... and the ball now popped out. Here's the hurried little hand pass out. Now through Simpson, who slammed it on the boot, only for it to be picked off. The umpire said, yes, that did go 15 metres. I thought it went 14 and a half. And this could be a 50-metre penalty, is it? Let's have a look. The umpire's come running in. In fact, it's the umpire off the ball that spotted a player down in the forward line here. Back line for the USA. And you might be able to spot that player better than I, Brian.
That's Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor of the Golden Gate Roos, who is on his knees at the moment. And just not sure exactly what happened. He is on all fours at the moment. Zach Taylor, whose partner Katie Klatt is coaching. Now is the head coach of the Golden Gate Iron Maidens. We're going to have time off here. And the clock stops unofficially with about 11 and a half minutes to go. And we'll take a look at the two other games for you that we'll have here on day 4 of the AFL Transatlantic Cup, brought to you by Payable Apps. It's the 0-1 Canada Northwind against the 1-0 Irish Warriors. That game will be coming up at 11:45 Eastern Time. It'll be Patrick McNeil and David Smith on the call for you. And then coming up at 2 p.m., it'll be two winless teams as Le Coq de la France will take on Los Jaguares de Colombia in the final game. And then taking a look at the games, well, just recapping the first game's play. Colombia, this is from yesterday.
In the women's.
Yep, Great Britain blanked Colombia 55-0. Ireland, in a thriller, went down to the Canada Northern Lights 35-32, maybe upsetting the apple cart a little bit in the women's competition, and the USA with an invigorating victory over a very game but clearly outmatched France team, winning 18-17, 125 to no score. And a very interesting thing is we have a moment they tend to tailor up in that pocket. It's a three-way tie going into the final game in the women's division. Only two of those teams will advance to the semifinals. I think a lot of people expected there to be all those three teams to be at 1-1. The USA is in the driver's seat thanks to that big win. They'll have Great Britain in the final game. Canada is playing France in the final game. Ireland is playing Colombia. And listen, anything can happen in this tournament. We've already seen that. But if you're looking at the paper, you're looking at the form, you got to almost think we're looking at a Canada-USA semifinal.
And for Colombia, I mean, do they go for the win? Do they try and park the bus and hope someone gets blown out by percentage? That's the question as they go into that final round. You're trying to save your position at the same time, but you're thinking if you take a risk, will that blow your chance of sneaking into second?
Yeah, that's... It's very interesting, and they're playing. I know the USA and USA and Great Britain are playing the last game. It depends on, I think, the order of what it is, because you can kind of get a better idea. The USA and Great Britain
is last. Yeah.
Yes, the USA and Great Britain. They'll actually have the idea. They'll know where they stand at that point going in. As Taylor is coming off the field, they started to bring him in through the interchange gates, they started to get the stretcher out. They have taken him. Let's see. I'm just trying to.
He's hobbling and he's got his right knee that he's holding up. So we don't know if it's a knee or ankle or anything like that, but he's not putting any pressure on his right leg.
We will try to get an update on his condition. We do have ins with the U.S. team for obvious reasons, and looks like they are going to restart the play, just trying to find the football, and looks like the clock has restarted, and we're underway again. Peter Holden.
Yes, on commentary today, it's Brian Barish and I'm Not Him. As the kick goes on the left boot, going inside 50 with the kick. Went to a 1-on-2. Plenty of numbers back there with the USA, and they'll send it back out, going through Max DePina, who takes a calming mark. Max DePina, of course, playing at the moment with Yarra Glen in the AFL Outer East competition in Melbourne, Australia. His kick was nearly picked off, though, by Lewis coming through. Now slamming on the boot is Tucker. Tucker goes with a long ball inside 50, only for it to be marked. And Linfeld will take the football and go across to Simpson. Simpson's been racking up the possession, gets on the right boot, goes up towards the centre wing, now forward of centre wing on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Wants to run onto it. Lenahan kept the ball in front of himself, wants to try and run down a player, couldn't do so. The ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds, and we will call for a throw-in inside forward 50 for the USA Revolution. They're going to the right of screen, which is the visit Mississauga.ca end of the ground.
You can't outrun a shark. I'll leave it at that as the ball comes back into play. That's Michael Linehan's nickname, by the way. There's Hutchings, I believe, with a shot for goal and playing goalkeeper and making the nice play there, I believe. We'll give that to Louis, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but there was a 6 on the end of that. That might be Bowman, George Bowman, number 30. No, he's not playing. All right. Well, somebody back there took the mark. We'll let you figure it out who it is as they go up on the far side. Nice play in front by Murphy, but it was right to a white jumper. Out to the near side they come. Dropping in front, going after it is Hodgson, who has a goal to his name already. Ball bounces away. He'll pick that up, looking for the long handball. Going in and finding Tucker. Tucker able to get free. Back to Hodgson. Goes down the line. 3 blue jumpers in there. Bounces in between all of them. Munn watched it bounce free. Little give-and-go handball. That's Lillis, who goes in. Nice handball in. Look at them work the lead. Great Britain lining up here. They give the ball in up on the far side. Pass walked in, and it looked like one of my Aunt Becky's cookies. Looked great coming out of the oven, but crumbled into nothing at the end. 10.5 gone, third quarter. Boundary throwing upcoming. The Bulldogs lead by 9 here on the Payable app scoreboard.
Well, I think you said that comment 7 years ago. Has Aunt Becky given you any cookies after that, or has she still been insulted by that comment?
I mean, she's been dead for 20 years, so
Yeah, that might be a bit difficult. As the ball is now on the ground and getting a hurry kick while nearly getting collared was Reece Evans, and the umpire said too high, free kick. So for the British, they'll have the opportunity here through Reece Evans from around about 45 metres out from goal. Be on a slight angle. Reece Evans, of course, plays for the Caulfield Bears in the Southern Football Netball League in Australia. Also plays rugby, soccer, cricket, and unfortunately he's a Carlton fan.
Yeah.
Thought he was a good bloke, and then I read that last line. Reece Evans now coming in for a shot at goal.
And my Welsh is a little rusty, but viva la Cymru.
Who'll go with a couple of skips in. Sends it away on the right boot. It's floating on the breeze. It's come back, and that's a big goal for the Bulldogs. They go to 5-5-35, and the USA Revolution 3-2-20. About 8 minutes remaining in this third term, thanks to Payable apps.
You know, we've been calling that the Greater Toronto end. That might be the Christopher Cross end because he rode with the wind as Zach Taylor is very slowly coming out in front of us. He just gave us a thumbs up, so his afternoon is done, and hopefully we will see him back shortly, but judging by the gingerness of how he walks, I'm not, so we'll see. He seems like he's walking okay, so we're not sure. We especially want to speculate. We will try and get an update for you, but that is a big out if he is not able to continue in this tournament. But we continue with Great Britain up by 15. And 7.5 minutes to go as they go forward, and we have a whistle. It'll be up to the U.S., and this one will come all the way back, and I mean all the way back to Sam Murphy, who will take the free kick from the center circle. Sam Murphy, who plays for the L.A. Dragons, played for the West Perth Falcons for a time. Right before COVID, he was over there and played, I think, about half a season for them. Also played for a couple of clubs in Western Australia. As the ball goes down, going after it once again, it was Lillis, who has been on both sides of the field. Doingy kick there by Linehan, and the ball gets cleared up the far side, right into the hands of Coughlin. Coughlin is on the wing position, Lake Ontario side. Going to send this one down. It will go up high. It'll bounce, it'll skip, it'll hop. Going back and picking that one up is Shotwell, who tried to go outside of the foot. I don't know why, but it was straight into a defender. Going to get picking that one up again was Livy. Little handball around to Linfeld, who drops that one in front. Tucker's going after after it, and so was Murphy. Murphy was second best, then got undercut. Going to get picked up by Tucker. Wheels around, goes out to the wing. Nobody was there initially, but Hoban had to run on and get to it quickly. And then handball, into the middle of the ground once again. And now it is done, and it is locked away in there just like my secret.
Player down behind the play, Sam Murphy slowly getting up.
I think it was from that hit maybe about 30 seconds ago. And right now, I mean, they've already had one big man go out. They don't need another.
As the ball goes up and smacked away by Evans, being intercepted. Now it's Mason who kicks the ball up towards the half-forward line. Ball hit the deck. Trying to go in there and aggressively attack at Julian David, but the British now have the football and come straight down the guts. Awkward bouncing ball, having to trap it there as Kai Andrew managed to sell the candy, then got on the right boot. Look for Evans going sideways. Evans takes the mark just inside 50, and he's thinking about a shot at goal. He said, well, I kick one from a similar distance out on a different angle, I might have another shot. So when he puts boot to ball, he'll be kicking from 49 2/3 metres out from goal, kicking towards the Toronto city centre end of the ground. And if he can put it through the middle, he'll extend the margin out to 21 points, and the alarm bells will be ringing in the Revolution camp. In he steps, Evans, long, it's just going to fall short at the top of the goal square. Mad scramble on, and they'll see it through for just the one behind. 5-6-36, Great Britain, the USA, 3-2-20, and that's on our Payable app scoreboard.
Out to the near side once again as the ball gets taken, and now here's, big tackle, just got away. Was it out of bounds first?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, definitely. He was run down like Essendon ran down Hawthorn in the final quarter of the 1984 grand final.
Yeah, but that was 40 years ago. What have you done since then? As the ball comes out on the near side.
Beat you again in 85.
Yeah, what have you done? What have you done in the last 10 years? I'll wait. As the ball goes, that ball was in play, and it is getting just as testy out that in here in the commentary, in the Either Live commentary booth is out on the field. As we go on the far side, as the ball gets sent in. Love you, Pete. As the ball gets sent in, it gets knocked down. As the ball gets knocked backwards, going to get picked up, and back the other way comes Moore as the ball gets sent in, and is marked by Shotwell. Shotwell goes up the far side now, and the ball will hold. It'll sip, it'll hop, and it will get taken by, big tackle put in there on DePina. The ball vet free, and it goes free. It's going to get sent back the other way as somebody is blasting their boombox. It is Hoban. Well, no, I was going to say somebody has the volume up to 11. They must be fans of
Spinal Tap.
Thank you. As the ball is up on the far side now, as the ball rolls and skips and hops. God, we've been spending way too much time with each other. We're completing each other's sentences.
I don't need to. Your wife is already here.
Newman is up on the far side. You talk. I'm done.
Well, everybody lost the plot in the commentary box, and we don't need it because it's a close game. It's 16 points, the difference in the lead. The USA Revolution. They kick the ball towards the half-forward flank. It'll be sent back from whence it came. One step kick is high. It's floating high towards centre wing. Trying to get up there and put the fist in there was Coughlin. It was taken away from him. Simpson now just pumps it long. Was trying to head in the direction of David. It fell short of him. The umpire said it was touch. You've got to play on. Bulldogs now swing it around almost towards the centre, towards the Either Live broadcast side of centre for Andrew. He missed out on the football. Shotwell goes in to try and wrap him up. The umpire says, I know you want to give him a cuddle, but I really do need the football back, and we'll call for a ball up. It was Gallagher that was wrapped up in that contest. He throws the football high in the air. One out in the occasion by Murphy. It's good to see that he's back going again. Murphy, after we were worried about him earlier, got the ball going forward. Maybe some high contact there, courtesy of Clyde Simpson. Clyde Simpson. Da, 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 da. And now Kelly. Kelly will now go out towards the centre wing position. Mark B taken on that occasion by Kai Andrew, who came out to meet the football. Goes towards the half-forward flank. Taking the mark and coming out to meet it there is the 25 and Matthew Gallagher. His kick as well. Geez, they're linking up great, aren't they, the Great British Bulldogs? Now across to Coughlin. Wanted to go originally towards Walton, but he jumped too early, and the numbers were back there for the Revolution. And on this occasion, they're going to spot up Martin Del Campo.
Here's Gabriel Martin Del Campo, also plays rugby league. We won't hold that against him. Played for LA Mongrel at one time in the USARL, as that one is clear, is handballed all the way back, and out the back is Aaron Gray, who turns turns in. It's a one-on-one contest, but David was out of position, and that left Reese with a chance for an easy-peasy lemon-squeezy mark. But now they got to change it out to the near side. Gonna get taken down by Matty Morris. Morris comes out to the near side, puts it on a line for Willis. Willis with the football left halfback flank. Sends this one down the line. It's a helicopter whirly bird. That was a nice juggling mark. Taken there by Kelly. Kelly is going to send this one in out to the near side, and the ball is taken down, and now goes on the near side. Getting tangled up there was Doherty, and there's a one-on-one contest, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it will, before that, a free kick was spotted out, and it will go to, I believe that's Gigliotti in the left back pocket.
Yeah, Moore and Doherty have been scragging behind play for the last 30 seconds, getting stuck into each other. One bounce ball is very close towards the boundary line, just manages to stay in according to the umpire. Kelly gets claimed on the way through by Mason, and the umpire's blown the whistle and said too high. It's getting willing, it's getting testy out here. It's a Boston Tea Party, and we're waiting for a high free kick being paid the way of the British. I'm waiting for bayonets to be drawn at some stage. Now it's out with Kelly. Kelly on the right boot, going towards the half-forward flank position. Mark taken, getting up there is Statham. Statham now tries to tell his play, gives him a little tap on the face and saying, you know what, your skin doesn't look all that great. Maybe you need to get a tan by visiting Mississauga.ca because it's a fantastic place. Now the kick up the line, and there's a downfield 50 free kick, and the umpire says, yes, let's go for some Mississauga.ca. And he's helping the USA get there. That's a decent 50-metre penalty. It's now ending up the hands of Thunder Max Tapina, and Thunder and Lightning it's going to have to be, because he'll be kicking from outside 50 after the hooter.
Never forget that the British blew a 13-colony lead, and they will have a free kick from 45 meters out. Will Max Tapina, the man from Seattle, Washington, as he winds up from 40 meters out, he will line up, he will send this one on the way. It has the distance, but not the direction, and the scores will not change at three-quarter time here at Humber College in neutral Canadian territory. The score, it's the Great Britain Bulldogs 5-6-36, the USA Revolution 3-2-20. That was a very spirited third quarter in more ways than one.
Including in the commentary box, dare I say. Let's have a look at the goal kickers at three-quarter time. It's all singles for the Bulldogs. It's singles to Walkden, Louis, Hodgson, Coughlin and Evans. For the USA Revolution, it's singles to Levy, David and McClure. Let's start thinking about some of our better players, Brian. For Powerwood, they're sponsoring our game MVP. Custom seater supplies done right, powerwood.com.
Yeah, well, let's see. I think, especially in that last quarter, I think Joe Moore has gotten more of the ball. Joseph Lillis has gotten more of the ball as well. Jack Coughlin, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse for me for the Bulldogs. For the Revolution, you know, we're seeing a lot of possessions for Linfeld. Daniel Livy is getting a lot of touch as well, especially out on the far side. I still think the Pina and Javon Mason are going after the football as well. So we're up for grabs, but it's the Bulldogs with a 16-point lead.
Games still to come today at 11:45 a.m. in the men's. We have got Canada Northwind versus the Island Warriors, and coming up at 2 p.m. local time again in the men's, it is the France Roosters up against the Columbia Jaguars. We're still looking forward to those games coming up this afternoon. The women's resume with their round 3 tomorrow from 10 a.m. local time. We'll take this opportunity to take a break at the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup thanks to Payable apps. It's a 16-point lead to the British over the Americans.
Google Forms now accepts payments. The Payable Forms add-on allows for seamless integration of a digital checkout with your Google Forms. Install the Payable Forms add-on, link your payment provider, share, and get paid. Your customers can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Cash App, Venmo, and more. Save time and hassle by automating your payment process quickly and simply. Payable Forms gets you paid.
Play for fun. Play for fitness. Play for glory. Play for community. Play for club. Play for country. Play for each other. Play because you love playing. Play footy. Visit AFLcanada.com and find a club near you today.
For the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup, thanks to Payable apps at three-quarter time. It's the Great Britain Bulldogs, 5-6-36, doing a number on the USA Revolution, 3-2-20. We're not too far away. Of course, this game is live and available at any stage on demand via the AFL Canada YouTube channel. Hello to everyone watching, and we're glad that 2 out of 100 of you would recommend us.
Which is better than some toothpaste. We're getting underway here in the fourth quarter as the Bulldogs hanging on to a 16-point lead in the third ever matchup and looking for their first ever victory over the Americans. Underway here in quarter number 4. It's Statham versus Murphy, and Murphy able to win that out momentarily. Tucker with a little handball run down by Javon Mason, and a good free kick there by the man from Portland. Mason looking to his left, goes down the guts. 2-on-2 contest, and almost taking the mark there over the top, and now out the back. That was Reese who came up from the fullback position, going down the middle of the ground. Almost going to get picked. That one up was Linfeld. And then that is Hodgson, who has the football now. Going to go and pick that one up. It's a Wernburner. That was a Subway ball. They do have a good Subway system here in Toronto, so I am told. That is Martin Del Campo up on the far side. Although David Smith might disagree with me as the ball goes back in. Going to get sent in. Big tackle from behind. And he is Gone gone. And it's a kick to Aaron Gray, the former Denver Bulldog, current Boston Demon.
Gray looking around for his options inside 50. They desperately need one early, the USA, to try and get some momentum behind them, but just reading the ball off the pack well is Callum Newman. Newman now on the left boot, goes out towards the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Foot race is on here. Going to pick it up is Welton. Welton now moves the ball out towards the centre wing position in front of the AFL Ontario scoreboard. The kick is very wide of his intended target, and it'll be an easy mark here for the USA, and they'll send it back from whence it came. Out towards centre wing again, Lake Ontario side of the ground. Trying to get the mark there, but was too short on height was Gray, because flying over the top there was Statham. Ball now in dispute, and the umpire circling around. You can hear the ball and cry from the crowd sitting on the bleachers on the far side of the ground. Getting in there and trying to create some pressure was Jevon Mason as well. That saw the ball hit the deck. Picking it up there for the USA is the number 19, Caleb Doherty. Doherty goes up towards the half-forward flank position. Only been picked off. Bulldogs will send it back from whence it came, but it's a bit of ping-pong football at the moment. That one just going straight down the throat of Linfeld, and he'll relieve the pressure for the USA.
Yeah, except he turned it over to Kai Andrew, as Andrew has the football. He will send this one down into the middle of the ground. 1-on-1, a 2-on-1 contest. Ball goes to ground through the wickets of Shotwell. Picked up nicely by Gallagher. Gallagher going to send this one back. Great Britain. I was going to say Golden Gate. They're playing like the Golden Gate Roos, right through the wickets there of Coughlin as the ball gets out there. Here comes Shotwell. Little stabby kick. U.S. needs a goal quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's a Chelsea Barish line as the ball goes through the off the wickets there of Louis, and the ball goes and gets picked up. And the ball goes down. It gets cycled around, looking by Callum Newman as the ball goes outside, and the ball is taken down. And the ball is this one, left-footed kick on the way, and that may be the one that seals it. Give that to Stephen Welton off the left foot, and Great Britain now up by 22 points with 17 gone in the fourth. They go on to 6-6-42 to the USA 3-2-20.
And I think that may be a contender as well for the Payable Apps goal of the tournament, helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons, payableapps.com. Is it a bridge too far now for the USA, down they needing to find 4 goals in the space of 16 and a half minutes?
I don't know that it's probable. It's not impossible. Whether or not it's probable, who knows? The way they're playing, I don't know. We'll see how they are. I think Great Britain looking the fitter of the two teams down the stretch here.
And up in the air we go again. Ball just got past Reed, who wanted to try and run onto the football. Collecting a player on the way through is Coughlin, who sends it inside 50. Grab a ball, just bounces around, and they'll send it back from whence it came. I know it's a cliche, and I've said it 105 times today, but it has been a ping-pong football, and the USA Revolution will try and come out. They had shot well on short, but they elected to go a little bit longer, and this time they picked up Hutchings, and Hutchings now kicks it almost towards where the water carriers are about to come onto the ground, close towards the boundary line in front of our There Live broadcast position. Picked up by Sever. Sever now tries to centre the football. It's a good pass, and maybe that mark may be a contender for the Payable Apps mark of the tournament. Taken about 50 metres out from goal, probably more about closer to 45, and taking on that occasion was Oliver Louis. He's already kicked one today. Louis making his international debut, studied at Durham University, and normally he comes out of the Wandsworth Demons, playing in the London competition, 21 years old. And again, the breeze earlier was swinging a left to right, but it seems to have died down here at the moment. As we watch Louis come in, probably to put the nail in the coffin in this contest. Louis for the Bulldogs on the right boot. It stays out right and does not come back and will register as a minor score. So the USA still need 4 goals to hit the front. It is 6-7-43 for the Bulldogs. The Revolution 3-2-20.
And a handball up on the far side quickly by Doherty, able to find another hand pass there. Sending this one up on the far side as this one is sent back in, and that one is going to be marked nicely by Rob Bunn, the first bloke of the USAFL. And we keep saying that because his wife April is the president of the USAFL, so at least one of the jokes you kind of get. As long up on the far side now, as that one is taken down, gets knocked free, going to look for a handball, goes back and forth. Little chip kick over the top, and the mark is taken. And taken about 45 meters out. Believe that's Ollie Hoban. And if not, well, it's not the first time I've been wrong. I've been married 14 years. That's 90% of my life these days. As the ball goes back, and he is going to take a shot. We'll find out who that is around as he will walk in. The kick is up on the way. It is going to be short. The bodies fly. Big punch down forward. And Great Britain is going to have first one, chasing this one all the way back. Hutchings with the big tackle in. Now, was this a good tackle? Yes, it was. Could have been in the back, very close, but the tackle was paid. They'll come out to the near side.
Yeah, it was Gallagher that was pinned with the football. Now they come out towards the There Live broadcast wing. Numbers here with Great Britain if they can work it out. But a nice little hand there by Max Tapina. It was a 1%er. He knew the numbers were against him, but just getting that ball out of bounds allows the USA to reset. So right in front of our broadcast position, Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you as part of the There Live production of the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup for Payable Apps. Ball hit the ground, and coming through quickly is Newman with a burst of speed. Got it up the line about 30 or 40 metres. The ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Not too bad for the Bulldogs because, remember, time is their friend at the moment. And the USA, they have only got 13 and a half minutes to score 4 goals.
And when you mentioned a couple of games ago, Pete, is because there is no time on, it's going to take them about 30 seconds to get the ball into the middle of the ground. So for you have to figure it's 4 goals, so you almost have to take away 2 minutes from the 13 plus that they have left. As the ball gets swatted down up in the middle of the ground now, there's another shot for goal, and that one is going to tail across the face. USA will take that for now, and that is off the foot of Gallagher once again. And Great Britain currently in an oasis of points of a lead as they go to 6-8-44. The lead is 4 straight over USA 3-2-20 as we are here at beautiful Humber College at Colonel Sam Smith Park. And I said, the Lake Ontario, rather, is just right over there, right behind those trees. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Beautiful. If you walk out a little bit, there's a nice view of the skyline. I highly recommend it if you're in the area, and I highly recommend that Great Britain pick up the football. They do. It goes back to Lillis, who sends this one in, and it will skip, it'll hop, it'll deflect off of a player. That was off the foot of Tykowski up on the far side, and the ball is sent down the ground, going to get marked by Tucker, who takes the ball up on the far side. Tucker now puts the football in, sends this one high in the air, and it will be marked and taken by Anderson in the middle of the ground. He's starting to push up. I think that's going to be a key. He's going to need to do that.
Oh, it was a dangerous floating football when he was trying to find Gross. Got smacked away from him. Gross tries to run down his opponent. The umpire said it was fair. The ball spilled out and went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Around 50 metres out from the goal for the Great Britain Bulldogs. This is at the visitmississauga.ca end of the ground as the ball is thrown back into play. One out on that occasion by the 20 in Linfeld. Trying to circle the pack there is Sever for the Bulldogs. Umpires pull one out, too high free kick. And that one, of course, going to Reese Evans. Evans just quickly put it on the boot towards the top of the square. Almost to mark. He tries to kick it off the ground. Ball is still alive. Trying to jump in there for the USA is the 11 and Anderson. Hurried little snap and the ball is going through for a minus score. That makes things difficult now for the USA. They need 5 scoring shots to hit the front. The Bulldogs are 6-9-45. The Revolution 3-2-20.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. And when you kick the ball straight out on the full like that off a kick in, it doesn't really help.
Oh dear. Do you just now start to slowly get the feeling that the Revolution is starting to implode?
Yeah, well, it's starting to look like the Battle of Brandywine in 1777 when General Cornwallis routed Washington and his troops in Chadds Ford, but 6 years later it was a little different.
All I heard is brandy. I'll have one.
Yeah. After this game, absolutely, as the ball comes spinning back in the play. Ball goes to ground. A little here comes Martin Del Campo. Handball up over the top. Going to go and find, and a big kick forward there by McKinney, who sends this one into the middle of the ground as the ball goes back in the play. And it gets knocked around nicely. The ball gets knocked backwards and going to get sent out to the near side. It will drop in front. Going to go picked up and going to go get a big tag. Oh, that was very dangerous as the hit was laid on Murphy, who is up in the air and was taken sideways by Andrew. I think it was just one of those like mistimed. I don't think it was anything malicious in that, but it was a good hard tackle, and lucky Murphy didn't get hurt because that was dangerous. Ball drops in front of Simpson, who sees it go off of Hodgson. And then the ball gets handed out. Here is Sharp. As the ball gets, big tackle. He almost got pantsed by Mason. And the ball is just toe poked on. Turning around with it again is Andrew. Sending this one in, looking for a mark and getting it. And playing on quickly is Walkden. Long pitch for a handball. Hodgson to bury the hatchet here. And that one is sent off to the side. It'll roll. It'll skip. It'll hop. It'll go out of bounds. Boundary throwing up coming for with the Bulldogs in attack with less than halfway to go in this fourth term. They're up by 25.
Well, you talked about that bone-crunching tackle. I recommend, if you have an opportunity, just to go on YouTube and search 2017 AFL International Cup Canada versus Fiji women's match. Some of the bone-crunching tackles in that game I still remember from 7 years ago. As the kick goes up the line, mark being taken there by the 15 in Curtis. Had the pleasure of calling that game, and I asked Amy to go afterwards. I think she needed an ice bar for the next 5 years after that game. It was brutal, some of those hits. It's Shotwell who now has the resulting free kick here, a mark for the USA Revolution. His kick is a bit of a worm burner up the line, being punched forward to try and gain some space there by Curtis, but the Bulldogs are going to send it back from whence it came. They've got a raffle of players on. They were looking for Coughlin. He was cut off, and it's going to be kicked out by Gigliotti there for the USA Revolution up the line, trying to find Lenahan to run onto the football. He's got support from David, who hand passes over the top to Lenahan, who overran the football when he had a paddock in front of him. Had to go back and get it again. Got the hand pass away before he got pulled down. There wasn't enough numbers there for support. Now coming in to try and assist him there is the 21 in Levy. He's up against the boundary line. Hand pass missed David, the intended target. Rees overran the football there for the Bulldogs. Got dumped as he got kicked. This might be a downfield free kick. Let's watch what's happening. Yes, it will be. It'll end up in the hands of Ollie Hoban for the British. No, they're kicking it back. They're not paying it. No, they will pay it downfield. The players just didn't understand what was going on. Definitely will end up with Ollie Hoban for the British. And Ollie Hoban, I should say, works in the school as part of a therapy team working with autistic children and young adults.
Wow, that's awesome. Good for you, Ollie.
And he also plays both form of rugbies, played in the 2021 and 2023 AFL Euro Cups and the 2022 AFL European Championships.
Do you know his blood type?
No, I don't, but I know he does play for the Wimbledon Hawks.
There you go. Yeah, Hawk, like that. I played for the Philadelphia Hawks. We have to stick together. Charlie Eels used to play for that club. Hello to Charlie if you're watching. Sorry for all the bad jokes.
And I should say also the Wimbledon Hawks, Lauren Spark and Kate Shearlaw, who both got recruited into the ALW.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Well, there you go. As the ball comes outside up on the far side, don't mention Milton Keynes when you mention Wimbledon as the ball gets sent in. And now the ball is in the middle of the ground once again. Bootlegging around is Gigliotti. Left-footed kick, and there was a whistle behind play, and that's going to end up going the other way. I'm not sure for what, but there was a whistle
off the ball.
And it was an off-the-ball tackle.
Kelly will get the free kick.
And they'll go back the other way. Just under 7 minutes to go. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. Great to have you along. Canada and Ireland coming up next. Pat McNeil and David Smith will be on the call to take you through that as the ball goes down, and it'll be a free kick. As the ball is taken by Walkden, who opened the scoring in the first 20 seconds of the game, and it has been an almost wire-to-wire victory, lead there. It looks like it may be all over Red Rover as this one is sent in off the hands. Ball goes down, gonna get picked up by, gonna get taken down. Little handball in front, point blank. Oh, and a smother by Rob Munn, but a second opportunity, and Rob Munn, the former Olympic rower, got on the proverbial boat and got to it, and they'll release up the far side to Anderson.
And Anderson with the football elects to go with a kick up the line, Lake Ontario side of the ground. Awkward bouncing football, and it got picked off there by Adam Kelly. Kelly now swings around, wants to try and come inboard with the kick, floated over the head of Adam Reed. Reed chasing after the football, almost could get run down. Got his hand pass away in the nick of time. Excellent smothered job. Ball now in dispute as it starts to dribble towards centre wing on the either live broadcast side of the ground. Simpson came sliding in there for the USA. Kai Andrew waiting on the outside for the ball to come out. Jumping over the top as Sever. The umpire says, I'll take the football, please, and call for a ball up. Between centre wing and half-forward flank here for the Great Britain Bulldogs. They are going to the visitmississauga.ca end of the ground. Ball now comes trickling towards the boundary line here. Simpson is lurking. You can hear the Jaws music playing in the background. Da-na. He was trying to chase down Walkenden, but Walkenden got away from him. And Walkenden's kick is pinpoint perfect and finds the target around about 40 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
It's going to take all 30 of his seconds here as 5 minutes to go. So Great Britain getting set to go to 2-0, and as we mentioned, a victory and a loss by France later on will clinch them a spot in the semifinals.
Oliver Louis also likes to play rugby, golf, cricket and soccer, making his international debut out of the Wandsworth Demons, playing in the AFL London League. Louis looking for two. If he kicks it, Louis as he starts to creep in. Gives it a ride. Again, we've been talking about that breeze that goes left to right, and it does so again. That will register as a minor score. 6-10-46, the Great Britain Bulldogs, the USA Revolution stuck on 3-2-20.
You've got the Christopher Cross side, which is riding with the wind, and you've got the Bob Seeger side, which is against the wind. Out to the near side, down on one knee, taking it to Simpson. Clyde Simpson, looking left, looking right, sending this one on. It is not a bad way to kick at all, and taken by Aaron Gray. Gray with the football now, going to handball it off to Phillips. Handballs it in, gets there on two hops, and having to go after that is Doherty, and then he goes A over T, and we all sorts of crash boom operating things happening over here, and we will have a ball up. Less than 4 minutes to go. So the USA going to drop the 1-1, and they will have a lot of eyes on what is happening with Canada and Colombia as the ball comes out to the near side. Will go out of bounds. That's one of the odd things about this tournament. The teams are not playing each other. The U.S. is not going to play Canada, and they're not going to play Colombia. So essentially, their destiny is not even in their own hands within their group.
It is a very peculiar situation, but one thing they're glad about is, for example, the USA are not playing Canada in the pool stage, and Ireland and Great Britain are not playing in the pool stage, which did happen in the past in international cups, which frustrated them because they're like, we already play each other at home. When we play away, we like to play teams we've never played before. And as we said, it's been a many long-year gap between the USA and Great Britain playing at intercontinental level, as it's taken away here by the number 6 for the USA and Aaron Gray, who swings around towards the half-forward flank, came off hands. Matty Morris was on the deck there, managed to get across to Ollie Hoban. Hoban now kicks in towards the middle of the ground. Mark taken by Tucker. Tucker breaks away from his man. Lenihan. Originally out of Newcastle, plays for the West London Wildcats. Tucker now goes inside 50. Rejected with a strong fist towards the boundary line as Simpson goes in to pick up the football. Gives off the hand pass. One step pass. It's low and it's flat. Its intended target was Sam Gigliotti, and it got knocked away from him. He runs down his man and Adam Kelly. Kelly gets the hand pass though. Got it quickly across to Kai Andrew. He gets piled into the ground by Simpson. Somehow the ball came out through Ollie Hoban. Flying through the air and juggling it is Hodson. Hoban is there and the ball is over the boundary line and out of bounds.
2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the ball game.
In fact, I think a free kick's been awarded off the ball here, and it's going the way of the USA.
Oh, well, it'll be a free kick. It'll go to Tammy Lindfelt in the back left pocket. Lindfelt is going to look to switch the play here and going to send this one on. I hope there's a guy all alone, and and he dropped it. And that was McKinney who found Tykowski, who gets it away. Settling under it is Curtis, who got knocked down from behind there by Roberts. Staying with the football and throwing this one on to the left. This one goes high in the air. All the way back is Lindfelt, who couldn't handle the kick. He touches it through for a behind. 6-11-47, Great Britain. The lead is 27 points. USA 3-2-20. 90 seconds to go. The Bulldogs are home.
Here on the Payable apps scoreboard, and helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons, payableapps.com. And the USA have the ball in the back pocket, Lake Ontario side of the ground. They're going to kick it up the line through Shotwell, going with a long pass. Worked out okay to Murphy. Oh, Murphy just miscued his kick at the worst possible time. But they do have plenty of numbers here, and they'll be able to work it out with a kick towards Max Tapina, and he takes it between centre wing and the half-forward flank. Max Tapina went left, Max Tapina went right. Then he went down the guts. Couldn't find his target because it went straight through his hands. Oh, Lenihan ducked around one, has a shot at goal. That's a contender for the Payable Apps goal of the tournament by Michael Lenihan for the USA Revolution. And that makes them 4-2-26. Great Britain 6-11-47, under a minute remaining on the Payable Apps scoreboard.
And that gives him, that ties him with Mark McClure for the team lead in the tournament. I believe they both now have 3. It's a consolation goal.
4.
Oh, 4? Thank you. Well, I went to school in Philly, so, but anyway, as we go back in the middle of the ground, I shouldn't say that. Philly's a great place to go to school. As the ball comes back in the middle of the ground once again, 20 seconds to go. And, so, as we said, Great Britain going to go to 2-0. USA going to drop to 1-1. As the ball comes back in the middle of the ground, Kyle Strensky's going to have to figure out what to do against Ireland, and it's going to be tough. It really is. As the ball's over on the far side, Lillis has the football, goes up on the far side, and there it is. And for the first time in their history in men's Australian rules football, the Great Britain Bulldogs have defeated the USA Revolution. They have done so by the tune of 21 points. The final score on the Payable App scoreboard, it's the Great Britain Bulldogs, 6 goals, 11 behinds, 47 points. The USA Freedom 4-2-26, a wire-to-wire victory for the Bulldogs. And just quietly, Peter Holden, a lot of talk about Ireland possibly coming in, being the slight favorites of this. The Bulldogs have stamped their authority on the competition here. They're at 2-0. They have one final game left. They'll play Colombia in the final game. They got maybe pencil them in a little bit ahead as tournament favorites.
Let's have a look at the goal kickers for this match. We go through the Great Britain Bulldogs. It's all singles. Walkden, Louis, Hodgson, Coughlin, Welton and Evans. All singles for the USA Revolution. Lenihan, Livy, David and Mark McClure. Our Powerwood Game MVP. Custom Cedar Supplies done right. Cedar Supplies based in Western Canada. Powerwood.com. That power has been placed in the hands of Brian Barish, who is today's Powerwood Game MVP.
We're going to give it to the number 24 for the Great Britain Bulldogs, Jack Coughlin, who had a lot of touches in the middle of the ground, a great link-up player, even got into the goal scoring himself, and really just helped control the game from the get-go. And help propel the Bulldogs out to the early lead, which they never relented. So our Powerwood player of the game for this one is Jack Coughlin. Congratulations to him and the rest of his side on the victory.
Jack Coughlin, of course, plays with North London Lions in the AFL London League. He's out of Surbiton there in the UK. Also played in the 2017 AFL International Cup. And he's an avid AFL fantasy player.
Yeah, and that's good for those of us nerds who like, basically playing with numbers and stuff.
And just quickly, the AFLW fantasy competition has opened up 3 weeks ahead of the competition, in case you want to check that out on the official AFL.com.au website. Still to come today at 11:45 a.m, we've got the Canada Northwind versus the Ireland Warriors. And then coming up at 2 p.m. again in the men's, it is the France Roosters versus the Columbia Jaguars. Brian Barish, thank you very much for your company on this fine morning here in Toronto. I hope you get to visit Mississauga.ca, and we look forward to your company again tomorrow on the call.
Absolutely, and just a note to the Great Britain Bulldogs fans, we'll be here all week, and you have a mute button, so yeah.
Thank you very much to Brian Barish, who has now been denied entry into the UK. I'm Peter Holden from Australia. Thank you very much for your company. You'll be in the hands very shortly. You're going to have some fine commentators joining us across the day, including Patrick McNeil and David Smith out of AFL Nova Scotia. But we will leave you for now with a 21-point victory to Great Britain over the USA. The Bulldogs 6-11-47 defeating the Revolution 4-2-26. It's bye for now.